There's not a lot of prehistoric games around these days. I recall having a game on NES called Trog, and I also managed to dip my toes in Far Cry Primal, which was a nice offshoot of the Far Cry series back in the day. But casting my mind to more recent times, I couldn't really name a current gen caveman game. Savage Age sets out to rectify this as a prehistoric puzzler, survival, and tower defense game. It's certainly an ambitious task to bring this group of genres together. What's it like? Sharpen your spear, cover yourself in grass, and watch out for wild boars as we review Savage Age on the Nintendo Switch. Before we take a trip back in time, would you mind liking and subscribing? It's the best way that channels like me get found on YouTube, and I can't thank you enough for doing so. The story of Savage Age follows a tribesman set to recover an artifact after it was stolen by a ruthless rival tribe, and so begins your journey across 20 plus chapters to recover what was rightfully yours. During this journey you will learn to hunt, craft, and defend yourself against the threats of a prehistoric world. At its heart, Savage Age plays like a puzzle game, crossed with a classic isometric platformer of the PS1 days. There are other elements to the game like construction and tower defense, but these functions seem like they could have been implemented better, as crafting boils down to simply walking near a tree to chop it, or gathering vines simply by walking into them. And then, once you have those items, you just walk to a bench where your character throws the items together and they morph into a new creation. You don't actually press buttons, and this process, especially when you can only carry 2 items at a time, makes crafting a never-ending series of mini fetch quests, which eventually grates on you as you simply just want to explore. Your inventory also resets at every level, so there's no point stockpiling items to take with you. You have chapters to work through which initially charge you with just completing simple puzzles or crafting criteria, before slightly opening up to more tower defense moments that kind of seem a little bit out of place. Graphically, the art direction is a cel-shaded, cartoon-style engine that does a decent job of building your world. Your character looks cartoony, and the entities in the world suit the style to match that, which is somewhat reminiscent of those PS1 era isometric adventure games. There's not a whole lot of variety in environments and enemies, but it does do a good job with what's on offer, making wild hogs menacing and fighting enemy tribesmen a daunting experience. You can also use grass to camouflage yourself to sneak past obstacles. If spotted, you're pretty much done for unless you have a weapon ready at the time, which is made even more difficult due to your character's slow-paced movement. And that comes down to my biggest issue with Savage Age. It's that it almost seems to be running in slow motion the entire time you play. It seems to be a performance issue as far as I can tell, because the Steam version runs at a much smoother and much faster rate, and a most likely more enjoyable pace. On the Nintendo Switch, however, you simply perform all actions, including walking, at a snail's pace, making any sort of progression an exercise in tedium and frustration. I feel like with Savage Age, the core mechanics may be there, but the pacing and out-of-place tower defense just doesn't really work with the speed or control style in its current state, and a post-launch patch to speed things up would certainly go a long way. For my vision-impaired cave people, there are no accessibility options, so further research may be required to find out if Savage Age is for you. At $20, Savage Age is reasonably priced, but gamers may struggle to be fully absorbed in the game at the present time with the current slow motion and sluggishness of the title. So, what's it like? Savage Age is like a hybrid pandemonium on PS1, mixed with puzzle elements of Abe's Odyssey. I award it a 54 out of 100. In the interest of full disclosure, a review copy was provided by the publisher, but this doesn't influence my score. I do also want to end this review by acknowledging that Savage Age is made by a one-man team, and it's a decent game that has a few issues settling in on the Switch hardware. If you have a PC and like the look of this game, Savage Age on Steam runs a lot faster and sits with mostly positive reviews. Here's hoping that Savage Age gets some post-launch optimization, and I look forward to seeing what's next from Hidden Blade Studio. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. The best way you can support me is to like and subscribe and continue watching my content if you enjoy it. But if you do want to go that bit extra, you can buy me a coffee or join our Patreon, which shows you behind the scenes of this channel. Thanks again.